Yeah, hello, dear people. I'm sitting here with Dr. Artour Rakhimov, and my name is Volker Schmitz. Dr. Artour Rakhimov is breathing practitioner, and also he is a former trainer of national team members of endurance sports and world-class athletes. And so, can you explain about the relation between breathing retraining and those different kinds of endurance sports?
Yes, how breathing retraining can help people who perform in different endurance sports, such as maybe triathlon, cycling, marathon runners, long distance runners, cross-country skiers. The benefits would be actually very, very large because people can run faster, can perform better if we change their breathing pattern at rest. So that's kind of little tricky topic because most people believe that if we breathe more, we get more oxygen. Let's say if a person is sitting and we start to overbreathe. In fact, what happens in medicine, when we hyperventilate, we lose CO2 and that causes constriction of blood vessels and therefore we get less oxygen. So similar effect is present during exercise. And the hard part for exercise is if you try to breathe too much, you can get losses of CO2. And you can get also negative effects related to oxygen delivery, oxygen transport to your tissues. So therefore, athletes, when we run, we do not deliberately force the breathing. We do not try to overbreathe or hyperventilate.
Ideally, yeah.
But if we try to breathe too little, let's say we reduce the breath 2 times, not like ventilating, well, maximum ventilation about 150 liters a minute for average person. Like this is if you try as heavy and as fast as possible. So if we try to breathe twice less, that would create too much air hunger, and that would be too much stress for the body, and oxygen also would not be delivered in sufficient amounts. So therefore, the process of breathing retraining actually takes a lot of time and very slow, but benefits are truly amazing because, let's say, if we take an average person, like not a fit person, but let's say somebody who is doing some exercise, like moderate level of exercise, maybe somebody who can run 1 hour or who can occasionally even run a marathon. Average person, let's say, run marathon, well, if it's not very fit person, maybe 3 hours. But with breathing retraining, the same person can reduce time by probably about 10-20 minutes, a lot, just by changing the way we breathe. Not doing extra training exercise. Yes, what we are talking about here is that our unconscious automatic breathing pattern influences the way we breathe during exercise, during sport performance. And if somebody has over-breathing at rest, average person these days, and that also includes top athletes often, up to 12 liters a minute for ventilation. And let's say if this person starts running with 10 times increase in metabolism, so we require 10 times more energy, the breathing also intensified about 10 times. It's actually a very accurate proportion if we do measurements. And therefore, this person would be breathing 120 liters per minute, which is a lot, nearly the maximum. Now, if you think about yoga master, or somebody who retrained breathing a lot, or somebody who let's say lived even 100 years ago, like an athlete from 100 years ago would breathe about 4 liters a minute. This is medical fact because we have studies which measured breathing in people 90 or 100 years ago.
Now I get it,
And instead of 4 liters per minute, this person is going to breathe only 40.
10 times.
40 liters a minute, it's relatively easy, even through the nose, and this is what we would do naturally. Actually, I found a lot of top elite athletes, often world champions, Olympic champions, in long distance running and middle distance running. They can even often win the race on the toppest, highest level, world gold medals, silver medals. A lot of Africans, 100% breathing through the nose all the race, because if we breathe easy at rest unconsciously during sleep all the time, and we have up to 50-60 seconds for the body oxygen test, indicating that we have 8 breaths a minute, certain amount of CO2, certain amount of oxygen. These people are able to run at maximum intensity, breathing only through the nose. And I found that in my best students, when we change their breathing pattern, we start to enjoy exercise, crave exercise, can exercise many times more easily. But also when I ask them, okay, if you now run with maximum intensity, let's say like for 10, 20 minutes, whatever you do type of exercise, is it easy for you to breathe through the nose? And we would usually say, even don't pay attention, it's so natural that we don't even try to open the mouth, because with such level of breathing, people naturally switch to nose breathing. Whereas if we think about modern athletes, I read even one medical studies which was done years ago, where we were just monitoring the way of people breathing, athletes breathing during cross-country race. So it was cross-country race. I think it was somewhere around like 5,000 or 6,000 athletes on this race, and we found that somewhere about like 0.5% or even fewer, like 3 in 1,000, about 3 people in 1,000 had 100% nose breathing. All the rest would have mouth breathing, and that happens, as I know now with my experience with breathing retraining and people who were previously sick, that these people recover their health. Not only they recover their health, which works in 100% of my students, people who I had students with diabetes, taking insulin, heart disease, epilepsy, cystic fibrosis, of course, asthma, bronchitis, sinusitis, various health conditions. If they recover their health up to the high level, up to 50-60 seconds for the body oxygen test, normal Buteyko health, these people start to exercise, and they can do a lot of long distance running. They can do up to 2-3 hours per day, better spread on shorter sessions, and they can nose breathe all the time. And we find that it's not only easy. Another big factor here would be very quick recovery time. Because instead of spending 1 or 2 days after long session, we would recover much faster, because better work of the immune system, better blood flow, better oxygenation allows them to recover much faster. And sleep also reduced a lot with level like 60 seconds and high. People sleep 4.5 hours. I've seen that in many of my best students, all of them who achieve this high level of easy breathing, with high level of body oxygen level, sleep very short, have a lot of energy, can exercise much more. So therefore, I believe that it would be a huge benefit for athletes, professional athletes who do long endurance type of sports, so that if we change with the way we breathe, and it may take quite a long time. It may take weeks or months time, because we are talking about our autonomic unconscious.
But it's definitely, even in my experience, it's definitely the fastest way, even for beginners, to get to a comparably high level of endurance performance. So I see it in almost every student. I have to hold them back often, because their cardiovascular capacity will be so enhanced after a while that I have to tell them, please go slowly a while, so your joints and everything can catch up with all your progress you made. But cardiovascular, they are so strong after a short while often. Can run 10 kilometers after 2 weeks or so, even easily often. And a marathon after a month, theoretically, but I wouldn't allow that probably because of the joints, so the joints can catch up.